sheet, lot of stake sale has happened and they have reduced the debt, quite a lot. And now they are working on lot of big infra projects, and again they are working on the profitability margins and all that. Now most of their companies are in much much better shape. Of course, some allegations were there, now it is gone, so that is a positive thing. Even I agree with the other panelists. Even for me also, I think Adani Port and Adani Power are the top picks, because see the fundamental of the company. And again, the way they have their presence in the infra is something unique. Adani Port is the largest port, and no, we know that most of the export happens through seaports. So I think they are going to benefit, and they are working on the lot of expansion. Even Adani Power is now coming up, and for other companies also. Now, as this thing is out now, I think investor and all the other investor, FII or DI, will look through the other lenses, because everything is there. So I think it's a big positive for Adani Group also, and overall market also. And I think positive things are going to come for Adani Group.
Absolutely. So positive things coming up for the Adani Group. That's what our experts are also suggesting. And just a quick disclaimer for our viewers that NDTV is a subsidiary of AMG Media Networks, which is an Adani Group company, and the channel you're currently watching. To you, Tapan, on the fundamentals of it. So L&T is the counter. How are you viewing it fundamentally?
See, frankly, L&T is always a safe bet. No, it's like L&T is equal to economy. If economy progress, L&T normally progress. And you see their order inflow is quite good. Even the last quarter, the result, you see a big order inflow was there. And in future, I think in Middle East, they are having a very good presence, and they are going to grow it, because Middle East is actually doing a lot of infrastructure, and where L&T is coming in the picture. Of course, the EBITDA margin was fallen last time, but they are working on it. And at the end of the day, order inflow is, if you see currently, it is around 94,000 crore rupees. And revenue also, it is having a double-digit growth. I think overall, if you see, though, they are going to prioritize, much more at the infra level. And I think export, at least outside India, they are going to focus a lot, because there the margin is much more. So if you have L&T in your kitty, I think one should stay for the long term. I think from here also it will give a good return.
A long-term view on the counter. Suzlon Energy is the counter, Tapan. Look, fundamentally, how strong is the counter, and what are your key takeaways?
So if you see the renewable sector now, I think wind energy is much more better placed than solar energy. The reason is solar, there are too many suppliers, and in wind, you know that Inox and Suzlon are the key, and Suzlon is number one. And again, the projects they have, and again, the order book is massive. Overall, they have already order book of next 3 years, and no, they are actually having almost 60, they are planning for almost 60% growth year on year for financial year 26 only. If you talk the margin, they are targeting around 23% contribution margin, which is very good. Of course, they are giving an end-to-end solution, and almost 5.7 gigawatt order book is there. Now, EBITDA, I think overall it is going to increase, because they are working on their operational metrics a lot, and from 19.2, I think it may go up a lot from here. So if you see, the most of the order book are from the PSU, which gives us a good visibility. Of course, last time the result was not so great, that's why it was fallen. But I think from here, the valuation looks commanding. I think one can think about it, and if you can buy at this level, even at a deep level, I think one should go for it. I think at a long-term level, I think in wind energy, in that also, Suzlon will be a big beneficiary.
Okay, so yes, how can I help you today?
I'm holding 21 shares of Hyundai Motors at the average rate of 1950.
Okay.
I am ready to wait for 5 years.
All right.
Is it any possible to cross 5 digit like Maruti?
Okay. So, okay, Tapan, well, you've heard the query there. So, do you see Hyundai Motors, becoming that multi-bagger stock in the near future, let's say for a longer period of 2 to 3 years?
See, Hyundai Motors last numbers, monthly numbers were okay, not so great as such, but hopefully this festival season, because of GST rate cut, it will go up. But yes, if you talk about Hyundai, somewhat the performance is laggard compared to M&M, and even now Maruti is quite catching up. Even today, Maruti has reduced their prices also. But Hyundai overall, they are working a lot, and mostly they on the EV models. By 2030, they are going to launch lot many EV models, and export they are actually they are pushing. Of course, they are going to bring much more SUV in premium segment to give a good competition to M&M, and Tata Motors is also, if you see EV, they are ahead. So, but if you ask me, from financial point of view or fundamental point of view, they have a good growth, no doubt about it, but and margins are also okay. But still, I feel M&M has a better no edge against the Hyundai. So, if you ask me for next 5 years, I'll go for M&M compared to Hyundai. I think still from here also M&M may give them a better growth, and I think the even the stock price also may go up better. So I think M&M will be the choice. Second will be Maruti, and third will be Hyundai.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm holding 150 shares of Syrma SGS
Okay.
at price 820.
Okay.
So I want to know the technical and fundamental. For long term, I'm holding.
Understood, understood. So firstly, coming to you, Tapan, when I look at the valuation, it seems pretty stretched. But still, overall, fundamentally, are you optimistic on the counter?
See, the overall EMS sector, overall their valuation is stretched. If you take Dixon, Syrma, or Amber Enterprise, no, all their valuation is quite stretched. But there's a growth there in that sector. No, almost you can say more than 30%. More than 30% growth will be there in overall the sector. And here also the management told for Syrma also that they are going to grow by almost 30 to 35%. Their focus will be on much more on the auto and industrial verticals, and they are going to maintain around EBITDA margin of 9%, which is quite good. Honestly, in EMS sector, no, the margins are little bit on a lower side. Of course, overall, if you see the product mix, no, they are going to go on the premium side much more, and cost control and operational efficiency they are going to bring. That will help EBITDA margin to go up little bit more. But looking at the EMS sector and the growth, I think this stock you are not going to get at a lower level much more. But yes, what I think that of course it has gone up a lot, so you can keep a buy on dip strategy on this. But overall, I am quite positive in this stock and sector also. But yes, I'll go for buy on this for the sim.
Okay. Indian Oil is the counter, and you heard Mr. Das Gupta there. So how are you viewing it from a fundamental standpoint?
See, fundamentally, Indian Oil is in a good position. If you see, they are going to have a refinery expansion, Gujarat refinery expansion by mid 26. Again, as Sir told, no green fuel, they are going to ramp up a lot. Of course, they are going to focus on hydrogen and biofuel facilities also. So basically, they are going to focus on blending and downstream integration. And currently, the situation at oil prices level is such that which is beneficial to Indian Oil. Gross refinery margin, of course, it has fallen year on year, but I think things will be settling down over the time. Of course, if you see, they have to work on their cost control and operating expenses, because last time that was an issue. But because of high demand on fuel, domestic and structure policies are there, I think this counter will be beneficiary. But as an investor, this may give you a steady return, not an extraordinary return. But yes, at a dividend point of view and also the recent expansion mode, I think for a decent return, I think Indian Oil, he can hold it a little bit for a medium term to long term.
So, firstly, Tapan, I'd like to come to you. Cholamandalam Financial Holdings is the counter, and he wishes to invest in it for a longer period of time. So, is it advisable for him to do that?
See, currently NBFC are in a much more better position, and Cholamandalam have a diversified portfolio, where if you see their insurance profit margins are also strengthening, and again they are going to focus much more on the home loan. Of course, asset quality they are going to tighten a lot from here, because there was a problem earlier on the NPA point of view, but from the insurance point of view, they are going to work on the underwriting discipline, and from here they are what management told, they are working on the digital channels. Okay, so from here, I think that there will be a steady growing of AUM from here, and disbursement is steady. Vehicle finance will be picking up in this Diwali season because of automobiles will be doing well. So I think vehicle finance will be one of a trigger for this company from going onwards here for next few quarters. At this level, I think the stock may do well from here, because still I think 1 or 2 quarters I think NBFC may do better, because interest rate cut may happen, and again the domestic consumption will go up, discretionary consumption. So I think Cholamandalam will be beneficial. So yes, at this level one should hold it for a little bit of 1 or 2 years at least.
Oh.
Query about Cyient, Cyient.
Yes.
I am holding 91 shares, brought at the rate of 1560 6 months back.
Okay.
I don't want technical view, I want fundamental view. I can hold them for 2 years, 3 years.
Okay. Understood. So Cyient is the counter, Tapan, and Deshpande is sitting on a loss of nearly 29,000 is what I can see right now. So considering all these aspects in mind, and also if we look at the valuations, so it seems pretty decent, but still, how are you viewing Cyient?
This Cyient performance was not good from last few quarters, and now overall, IT also was struggling a lot. And now, if you see now, their management is saying they are going to focus on AI verticals and all that. But the problem is, the revenue and the profitability is not there, based on the valuation. Again, if you see, they are going to bring more, 40 new logos across the industry, and they are going to work on the EPAC wireless infrastructure and all that. But still, I am not able to see the margin expansion and now the revenue which was always thought about the Cyient. Of course, it has fallen a lot, but still, I feel from here also it will be a tough road for Cyient. So I think if he can move to other sectors, which are doing quite well, like auto ancillary is still not gone up, or this consumption and all that, I think that may give him a better return compared to Cyient. So I am not too much positive on Cyient from here.
Right. So there are two counters. Firstly, coming to you, Tapan, very quickly. KPIT Tech and Swaraj Engines. What's your outlook?
See, of course, for KPIT, I think still struggles going on, and still the valuation is on a higher side. But yes, the management committee was positive, and of course, AI platforms they are working. And the mid cap companies are better than the large cap comparatively. So the discipline is there, the margin stability hopefully should be coming, and slowly and gradually the profitability is going up, hopefully from here onwards. But still, I feel one quarter he should wait. Otherwise, no, he should move out from this KPIT. The reason is simple, that still the growth is not matching with the valuation. So I want him to wait for one quarter. This quarter you see the result, then if needed you can get out and go to some other sector or stock. And talking about Swaraj Engineering, if you see that sales growth is at a double digit level, and of course, if you see, they have much more per unit realization is much more better. Of
Yes,
course,
yes.
volume has gone up. So I think even the Swaraj, I think one should stay. I think for a short term and long term, I think here I can see a little bit upside.
Okay. So that we are running short of time, as you might have noticed. But thank you so much, Tapan.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, अगर आप चाहते हो कि आपका पोर्टफोलियो भी ऐसे स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड, बॉन्ड्स, ईटीएफ, आईपीओ से बड़ा हो जो आपके फाइनेंशियल गोल अचीव करने में मदद करे, तो जरूर हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड कीजिएगा। लिंक मैंने कमेंट बॉक्स में दी है, क्लिक दैट लिंक और मैं आपको नेक्स्ट सेशन में मिलता हूं।